Hello, good morning, or good evening, whenever you are watching this. I hope you are doing well. My name is Catherine, and today we're doing the mid-year freakout book tag. The mid-year freakout book tag. That's what's happening. Okay, so I have not done this tag in like 2 years. This was one of the first booktube videos that I did way back in 2020. I did it again the next year, and I actually just rewatched those videos. It's so funny because I was just starting to get into romance at that time, and look at me now. This tag was created so very long ago. I'm sure there is an origin. If I can find it, I'll put it down below, but it's that time of year where you just see everyone on booktube doing this. There has been so much that has happened in the first half of 2024. I did just hit my 1-year anniversary of living in New York, which is also crazy to think about. And it's been a little bit of a mixed reading year for me. I have read some really good ones. I've read some really bad ones. The large majority of the books that I've been reading have been very middle for me, which is not my usual. So I don't know, I feel like I'm kind of restructuring what kind of books I like and trying to figure that out. It's been a real journey for me to try and make that discovery, as I have now made my entire personality books. So, you know, everyone grows, everyone changes. Here we are now. So far this year, I have read 91 books. 91, maybe 90, actually, I've read 93. I have not logged my most recent books. It's fine. Let's get into these questions before the sun sets, shall we? As always, whenever I do any sort of tag, I will not answer with just one book for the most part. Most of these are going to be multiple, so stay tuned for that, and let's get into it. Question number 1, what is the best book that you've read so far this year? Getting right in there, aren't we? Here's the thing, there are some that I have really enjoyed. I loved Not Another Love Song by Julie Soto. This book comes out July 16th, so in a couple weeks from when I'm filming this. And when I read this, I became obsessed. It's so good. The tension between the characters is just so fantastic, and I am obsessed with it. Truly Madly Deeply by Alexandria Belfler is another one that I totally became obsessed with. I just think that the characters in it are so real. Their relationship and their tension is so much fun to read. It had me laughing, it had me crying, it had me feeling all the feels, and it is so spicy, and I loved it. It's probably my favorite of hers so far, which is saying a lot because I think I've loved every single one of her books. Last one I'll put into this category is This Could Be Us by Kennedy Ryan. I love every Kennedy Ryan I read. I don't think there's been a single Kennedy Ryan where I'm like, this was a bad book. They're all good. I didn't like this one as much as the first one, Before I Let Go, but I still really loved it. I love the characters. I just think Kennedy Ryan writes such real, raw characters going through sometimes really traumatic things, but there is always this underlying current of hope that I just always appreciate in her books. Favorite sequel? I didn't read a lot of books that involve sequels. There weren't many for me to choose from. I did recently read Business Casual by B.K. Borison. That one also comes out on July 16th. It is so good. I think it's my favorite of the Lovelight Farm series, which again is saying a lot because I love that entire series. Again, the characters are just so complex and their tension is so good, and I literally read the entire thing in one sitting while I was flying to California, and it's incredible, and I cannot wait for everyone to read it. I also read With You Forever, which is book 5 of the 6 of the Bergman Brothers series. I read the entire Bergman Brothers series in a week. Highly recommend. So good. I love that series. But I think specifically number 5 is my favorite. Again, I love the characters. It's a very grumpy sunshine. All of the main male characters in Chloe Lisa's books are the definition of men written by women, and it's just so good. It's so good. I also read That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Human by Kimberly Lemming. This is the third book in that series, The Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon, that whole series. I finally read book 3. It's so good. Her books are just so funny and so clever, and they like have the cozy fantasy vibe while still being like very spicy and having like a good amount of adventure in them. Okay, question number 3 is new releases you haven't read yet but want to. Oh, so many. I feel like every week there's 50 new books that come out that I haven't read yet but are on my list. Most recently, Novel Love Story by Ashley Poston. I read Dead Romantics a couple years ago and loved it. I just recently read 7 Year Slip, loved it. I'm so excited to read this one. I just love her book so much. I think she has a really good way of writing about like grief and emotional things that it's so good. Fragile Enchantment by Allison Saft. I have that one sitting there and I keep on saying I'm going to pick it up and read it, and I keep on meaning to, and I haven't yet, and I'm going to, I promise. How to End a Love Story by Yuling Kwong. I'm very excited to read this one. As someone who has been following Yuling since her YouTube days way back when, may have even been in one of her videos way back in the day, which is a very silly thing. But I've heard really great things about her book. I've heard actually really mixed things because she writes it in a very unique POV, and I'm really excited to read it because she's writing from this like screenwriter's perspective, and I think it's going to be really interesting to read. Also really excited to read book, is it 7 or 8? I want to say it's book 7. Of the Lady Sherlock series by Sherry Thomas. I love that series so much. It's so fun and so cleverly written. And the latest one like just came out last week. So very excited. I just got the audiobook from the library. I'll be listening to that real soon. Okay, most anticipated releases of 2024 that I haven't read yet. All of these are ones that I have arcs of, so like, that sounded so braggy, I'm sorry. But these are all ones that like I have arcs of. I have them sitting there waiting for me to read, so like they're highly anticipated. So excited. Graveyard Shift by ML Rio. Cannot wait. I love ML Rio's writing style. I think it's so good. Make the Season Bright by Ashley Herring Blake. Love everything she writes. Obsessed with it. Can't wait for some sapphic holiday romance vibes. Sword Crossed by Freya Marsk. Another one of my favorite writers. Cannot wait to get into some, I think there's like some piratey vibes involved in this one. I could be wrong. I'm excited though. Blue Graffiti by Callahan Skogman. Oh, yeah, I just need to know. I need to know how it is. I have it sitting. It's sitting right over there. And I'm so excited to pick it up and read it. Yeah, it's not a romance. And it's definitely like literary fiction. And I never read books written by white men, but it's Callahan Skogman, so like, I gotta read it. Oh, another one coming out, I think in August, is Next Best Fling by Gabrielle Gomez. Very excited about this one. Looks steamy, love the cover. Biggest disappointment, it always breaks my heart when I'm disappointed by a book. I have 3. 2 of them were actual disappointments. One of them I was just kind of annoyed about. But okay. First one is Dark Restraint by Katie Robert. This is the next installment of the Dark Olympus series. It comes out in August. I was excited about it. It's Ariadne and the Minotaur. We've like had these characters for the past 2 books, and we've seen the tension between them building, and I was really excited. I don't know, something about their chemistry and the flow of the book just wasn't vibing with me. I haven't DNF'd it, but like it's taken me 2 months to finish it because I was just so like meh about it. The other one is unfortunately At First Sight by Olivia Dade. This is the second one of Olivia Dade's that I've been kind of disappointed by, where I just feel like her dialogue, I don't know what's been going on with the past 2 books. Her dialogue just hasn't been hitting for me, and something about the characters just feel very caricature-y. I liked this one more than Shipwrecked, her last book, but it still, again, just wasn't quite hitting the way I expect her books to hit, because I've loved so many of her books. Last one, a silly one, One Pucked Up Pack by Sarah Blue. I was only disappointed. Okay, listen, it's an Omegaverse hockey reverse harem romance. Like, I wasn't expecting much, but I'd read one of her past books and I actually really liked it. We did it for Classic Literature Book Club. I had a good time, and I expected, similarly to Omega's Obsession, that this one, everyone would be in a relationship. It would be, again, like a poly relationship type situation. But with this one, all the guys were just kind of like BFFs, and then they were in the relationship with the girl, and it just, like, I don't know, be real. Like, come on, if you're all getting together, you're all getting together. Anyway, biggest surprise. I was super surprised by how much I loved Out on a Limb by Hannah Boehm Young, because it is a surprise pregnancy book. And I don't like, not one of my tropes, not something I enjoy. But I really liked the characters. I really liked how mature they were. I feel like a lot of the times the problem that I have is the characters are just so immature. I'm like, how the heck are you supposed to raise this child together when you can't even work out your like interpersonal differences? Yeah, and I feel like the relationship started where it was like just a one-night stand. She gets pregnant, that's the plot. They decide to co-parent together. I think there was enough of them not just falling into lust, but like talking to each other before they hook up, that I was like, okay, like they have a good foundation, that this doesn't seem totally unrealistic. Another surprising one was the book Someone Who Will Love You in All Your Damaged Glory. This is a series of essays, again, written by a man. I don't know, wasn't expecting to like it. Not normally my cup of tea, but it is very like tongue-in-cheek, very satirical. And I thought it was really interesting specifically to listen to on audiobook because it had a really great cast. I also was shocked by how much I loved Butcher and Blackbird by, what's that author's name? Oh, you're somewhere up there. Butcher and Blackbird. It's a popular book. Because I don't do gore, I don't do horror. And this one, while it is very gory, it's about two serial killers falling in love. It is, again, very like tongue-in-cheek, very rom-com-esque, that it just had me laughing, even though there was one part that did make me physically feel ill by how gory it was. I still had a really good time reading it, and I love the sequel. Oh my gosh, I didn't put that one. Another sequel book, Leather and Lark. So good. I actually like that one more than the first one. And then another one that I was shocked about was Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. I don't know. I don't do sports romances. I just don't do them. And this one I'd heard so many mixed things about. And you know, everyone kept on saying, oh, the cover's deceiving. The cover looks very YA, but it's actually very spicy. And I was like expecting a normal amount of spice. That book is smutty. I don't know what high schoolers are doing while reading that book. You don't read that book if you are under the age of 18. I actually had a really good time with it too. It still like wasn't my favorite, but there wasn't too much hockey, which was good. New favorite author, Chloe Leese is definitely one of them. Again, I binged all of her books, so love her. Christina Forrest is another one where I really enjoyed the partner plot. I haven't read her other books yet, Neighbor Favor or the next one. It hasn't come out yet. I don't think the arc's even out yet, so I can't have read it. But I really liked partner plot, and I really like her writing style, so I'm excited to read more from her. Amy Award is a really fun one. She just does really fun, like, comedy. I love how funny her writing is, and it's not something to be taken seriously, even though there are like moments of serious subject matter in her books. And Jessica Joyce is another one that I just really, really loved her writing in You With a View, and I'm about halfway through her next one. So definitely another great new author for me. New fictional crush has to be Colin McCroy. I love this man. He's in Truly Madly Deeply. The way this man begs, and that's how I sell this book to anyone who will listen to me. this man, so good. He is obsessed with Truly, and I am obsessed with him in turn. Xander Thorne from Not Another Love Song. I, again, love him. He's obsessed, and I love a man who's obsessed. That's all I love. New favorite character, I loved Lark in Leather and Lark. She is so unhinged. That girl's wild. I loved her. Kira from the Halfling Saga. I read book 3 this year, and I am just loving her. I really loved her development. I love that, like, she's so imperfect and she's so complex as a character. What I really enjoyed about the last 2 that I read last year, and then with book 3, like, she just becomes more and more complex, and I really appreciate the character development that she goes through. And Rue from Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood. That's another, oh God, I keep on mixing up Not in Love and Not Another Love Song. But Rue from Not in Love, real good. I really like her character. I think she's really different than other Ali Hazelwood characters, and so I just had a really good time reading her. Books that made me cry. I am a crier. We know this. It's a fact about myself. Just a couple that made me cry, like really, really cry. 7 Year Slip by Ashley Poston. That one was rough. Loving You Always by Kennedy Ryan. Kennedy Ryan always makes me cry. I've cried in every single one of her books. I think there was only one that I got out unscathed, and that was because it was part 1 of a duology. So, yeah, didn't cry during that one, but cried in part 2. That one was rough. That one was really rough to read, but it was really good. You with a View by Jessica Joyce. It's another one that, like, deals with grief and, like, her trying to figure out what she's doing with her life, and, like, I feel ya. Book that made me happy, Rein Me In by Kayla Gross. I was really surprised by this one because I didn't think I would be a cowboy romance girl, but I really liked this one. Oh, this one also made me cry. It made me happy and it made me cry. Another one that made me happy, I really loved Omega's Obsession by Sarah Blue. I just had a great time reading that with Classic Literature Book Club. I don't think they were expecting the Omegaverse, and I'm sorry. And then another one that just made me happy because of how unhinged the ending was is To Ravish a Rogue by C.M. Niscosta. She's crazy. I love that one. Book to movie adaptations, best book to movie adaptations. Bridgerton. I did really enjoy season 3 of Bridgerton. There are some things that I wish they had done differently, but for the most part, I had a really great time watching it, and I will fight people about it. The Idea of You, listen, the book, wild. The entire time I was reading it, I'm like, this book is crazy. Like, it's Harry Styles. It's about Harry Styles. And the fantasies this woman has about Harry Styles. Like, that's what the book is. Robin Lee, love you, and I love you for that. The movie, less wild. Still some things, but, like, it's Anne Hathaway and Nicholas Galitzine, so, like, it makes sense. It was a great time. Can't stop thinking about it. Will make that my entire personality. And then an adaptation that I didn't even know we were getting until recently is My Lady Jane. I read these books back in, like, 2020, way back when, and I love them, and I didn't know there was an adaptation. I haven't watched the adaptation yet, so I can't say if it's a favorite, but from everything I hear, it's really good, and I'm so excited because I really hope they continue on and do, like, each season is a different one of the, like, Lady Jane, My Calamity Jane, My Plain Jane, those books. I'm really hoping that's what they do because I love those books. They're so good. Most beautiful books I bought this year. I have to go grab some books. Okay, I did get the, what order do these go in? The Chloe Lee Bergman Brother books. Ah, look at these. They are so fun. These are from Illumicrate. I am obsessed. I literally specifically binged these books because I was like, I want to know if I'm actually going to like these books before I buy them. And I did, and it's so good. Another Illumicrate set that I got that I really loved is the Written in the Stars series. I just think they're so cute. I love these alternative dust jackets. And inside, hold on, art in each of them. And I really love the naked dust jacket, or naked covers as well. I think they're so cute. Despite not loving the book, my copy of At First Bite, I really like. We have this strawberry edge, and then when you take off the cover, look at this. I just think this is such a pretty like underside of a book. I also am always collecting mass market paperbacks. These are some of my more recent books that I've acquired. These two are by Suzanne Johnson. I got them for $2 at a thrift store. I love these covers. This one and Silver Flame is this one. I just think they're so pretty. Okay, last but not least, other books you would like to finish before the end of the year. I have so many. As always, I do try and work through a lot of my physical TBR. It doesn't always happen. It is what it is. Here we are. I recently made a video talking about a lot of the sequels that I'm trying to work through, so you can watch that. I don't have like a specific TBR because I am a mood reader, but like I'm focusing on sequels and books that I own, both like physically and also like arcs that I get, because I'm trying to be better. Anyway, that is all. Thanks for watching. So glad y'all could freak out with me. It's always a good time to film one of these videos. If you like this video, be sure to hit the thumbs up. If you want to see what happens on the journey of me reading books, hit the subscribe button. That was weird. I'm so sorry. And turn on the bell icon so you get notified every single time I post. Go ahead and leave a comment just with a smiley face if you've reached the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And until next time, bye.